America's coolest conservative and the future king of talk radio. 107.9 FM WBT presents The TJ Ritchie Show.
Well. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Whew. Thank God that weekend's over. So glad to be back at work. I know you were thrilled to be back at work today. 704-570-1079 is the phone number. I have a lot of stuff lined up, jam-packed for you as a program tonight. By the way, you can call or text. Texting is presented by Liberty Buick GMC. Liberty Buick GMC. Before I get into all of the crazy issues and the controversies and all of that kind of stuff, I want to tell you about something that happened to me on a personal note over the weekend. I attended a funeral Saturday, and it was the funeral of a longtime friend of mine's mom. And if you will indulge me just for a few minutes, I want to tell you about a fine woman named Pat Lineberger. You don't know Pat Lineberger unless you are from Mooresville, North Carolina, and everybody from Mooresville, North Carolina knew Pat Lineberger. Patty, as she was also known as, Patty Lineberger. She died at age 87. Now, this was a very special woman. She was funny. She was kind. She was smart. And you couldn't go anywhere in Mooresville without somebody at that place knowing Patty Lineberger. She was 87 and the type of person that just when you mention her name to people, they laugh and smile. They say, "Oh yeah, I know Pat. She's hilarious." But she was kind in a way that you don't find anymore. And that's why I want to tell you about her. Because she obviously is from a different generation where you just can't fathom a woman being like Pat Lineberger anymore. Not in 2026. You see, when Patty died, she had left specific instructions not to have a big deal made about her. She didn't even want a funeral. She told her preacher to not get up and do a big bunch of eulogy stuff about her. And when she was alive, she would do all of these nice things for people. She was one of the most complimentary people that you'd ever be around. Constantly bragging on you, telling you good things about yourself, like she thinks this and that, and she acted like that. She acted like I was, on the same level of celebrity with, George Clooney or Tom Hanks. But if you ever tried to return that, she would quickly change the subject. She didn't want to hear anybody bragging on her. She would almost walk away if you started to say really, complimentary things about her. So she told her family, she told her pastor, she told everybody, I don't want any big fuss about me. Just get the family together and go to dinner or something. Go to a nice restaurant. That's all you need to do. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves together. Solid Christian woman, a lady. So her family had a minimal service for her, just a graveside service late Saturday morning. And they all said if she would have known they were going to do that, she would have had a fit. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is because you compare that type of woman who was 87 to what we see in our culture now from women, and they don't even look like they are from the same galaxy. Especially these liberal women who want to be on social media and cussing and raving and ranting and saying things like Charlie Kirk deserved it and dancing and pretending like they're being shot in the neck and saying, why did the assassin miss the president again? When are they going to kill him? All of these things that feminism has turned women of today into is the complete opposite of what someone like Pat was. A strong woman, a lady, sophisticated, would never, ever draw attention to herself that way. Probably couldn't even fathom setting up a camera in public and standing in front of it and getting mad if somebody walked by and messed up her quote unquote shot. So as I was standing there at the funeral Saturday, and I was going through all of these things in my head, and you stop and you think, how far has feminism brought women in America? How far have women come since radical feminism was forced upon our culture? Or better yet, how far have women fallen in our culture since radical feminism was forced upon us? Every night on this show, we deal with the scourge of liberal women, feminist women, and what they've done to harm everything we hold dear in this country, everything that made this country great. Radical feminism has chipped away at it. Can you think about how much better off we would be if we had millions and millions more Patty Linebergers? We wouldn't be dealing with a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with. I can tell you that right now. We would be so much better off as a society. All right. So there is a lot of stuff to get to tonight. A lot of controversy, a lot of fighting, and we're going to make fun of most of it. So we'll get to that coming up next. Hang on.
The TJ Ritchie Show is on. More next on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WBT. Text everybody in your contacts list and tell them that Ritchie's on. Welcome back to the TJ Ritchie Show on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 FM WBT.
Here we are. Unapologetic conservatism from America's coolest conservative and the Green-Eyed Patriot. On the air, everywhere. We got a text here from Wayne. Said, I had the pleasure of meeting Patty Lineberger. First met her 50 years ago when she waitressed at Laney's Fish Camp in Mooresville. It's no longer in business. Amazing and friendly lady indeed. That's my friend's mom who passed away, and I was at her funeral over the weekend. Yeah, I mean, anybody that has pretty much driven through Mooresville has had a pleasant encounter with Patty Lineberger. Okay, so let's talk about this. I don't know. This could be one of the biggest low-life pieces of human debris that has ever been in public life in U.S. America. His name's Graham Platner. And Graham Platner is the Democrat nominee for senator in Maine, running against Susan Collins, the liberal Republican rhino who is the incumbent. Now, I never ever thought I would see the day when I would say, you know, I hope the Mainers vote for Susan Collins, or I hope Susan Collins gets reelected, because I mean she's been not so great for the conservatives, that's for sure. But this Graham Platner, and I'm guessing you've probably heard a lot about him, but he's the one that had the Nazi tattoo, and he just got it covered up when it was discovered that he had a Nazi tattoo. Self-admitted communist. Pretends to be an oyster farmer, like he's just, you know, Mr. Blue Collar, and he's endorsed by all of the Marxist Stalinists in the Democrat Party, like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. The oligarchs cannot hold back Graham Platner. Graham Platner, I endorse you full-throatedly. I'm trying to just go down the list here. He's made fun of Purple Heart recipients, said that one guy didn't deserve to live because he was so stupid. The guy that the sniper movie was made about, Kyle was his name, said he had so many kills on his list because he was killing women and children. I'm telling you, just a piece of crap. He got his Nazi tattoo covered up, like I said, when it was, you know, recognized. And he has also said, he's just vulgar and said things on in social media, like talked about vile things he's done in a porta-john and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. Here's a clip of him, and it's the main reason I wanted to talk about him.
People are going to try to make this race about anything but what it's supposed to be about, which is policy. They never want to talk about policy. Amy and I have a very loving and very happy marriage. They would very much like to try to rip that apart. They're going to come after us in every awful way that they possibly can. And we're just going to keep talking about the fact that the hospitals are closing, the fact that child care facilities are closing, the fact that teachers...
All right, and what he's talking about is that now they want to talk about anything but policy. What they're talking about is the resurfacing of text messages and vile
vulgar things sent to a woman since he's been married, and now he and his wife are out, and she's standing by his side, and they want to talk about anything but policy. And he thinks he's got a cool voice, and he talks all the time, and he's just very annoying. And he's got, Mr. Alpha Male is what he's trying to pull off there. And he served in the military, and he's an oyster farmer, and he is just basically he's a typical Democrat of 2026. You know, if I continue talking and I sound tough, I have a voice that's way down and grovelly like this, then people will think that I'm the man for the job. I got Bernie Sanders in my corner. I got Pocahontas in my corner as well, and I can't lose. Yeah, I said I masturbated in the Porta-John, but show of hands out there who hasn't done that. I think all the Republicans, they just want to bring that up, and they don't want to focus on the fact that they do that, just like I do. They don't want to talk about policy. But, these are the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they are. This is how disgusting these people are. Can you imagine a Republican with these same marks against them? Any Republican that's in office now endorsing them? Can you even imagine that? Yeah, but they don't care. They don't care. They just want the power. They want control of the Senate. And once we get control of the Senate, then we're going to pack the Supreme Court. And there'll never be another Republican elected, or there'll never be another Republican policy get passed ever. All you got to do is elect a Nazi and a pervert. A Nazi pervert, fake oyster farmer. And he's just like all these other communists that you see in the media today and everything. He was raised a rich kid, trying to act like he's Mr. Blue Collar, like I'm a man of the people. I'm an oyster farmer. I plant oysters and watch them sprout all over the place. As a matter of fact, I spent my entire youth out in the dusty fields, harvesting oysters, picking them right off the vine. Once we planted them and they started to bloom, started to grow, I was out there picking them every day. Out there plowing the fields to plant those oysters. But again, put this on the list of reasons how we as normal people, as decent people, how we just can't understand people actually identifying with that party. So they run around calling Donald Trump a Nazi because he doesn't, bow to them, or because he doesn't, because he's a Republican. Meanwhile, they're promoting a real Nazi communist in their party to hold the office of senator in Maine. Hello? And giving him all the support they can give him. I haven't heard any of the sitting Democrat senators come out against him. And you know what else? I haven't heard the media forcing those Democrats. You know how if a Republican does something wrong, or a Republican is accused of doing something wrong, they'll get every Republican office holder on these TV shows, and they'll say, will you disavow what he did or what she did? Will you right now on record disavow what they said? Da, 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 da. I haven't seen all that. I haven't seen them make any other Democrats. Maybe I missed it because I was busy this weekend, but I don't know. So that's Graham Platner, ladies and gentlemen. We'll keep a sharp eye on him. We'll see. Hang on. We got more coming up on the TJ Ritchie Show.
The realest your radio has ever been. TJ Ritchie is on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WBT. Welcome back to the TJ Ritchie Show on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 FM WBT.
Yellow. Welcome back. I am the most famous and legendary active radio personality in Charlotte. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but facts is facts, ladies and gentlemen. Soy el jefe de la radio. 704-570-1079 is the phone number. Call it or text it. I am here. I'm here. Come on. This is an interesting statistic. I've got a list of the 10 states with the most Republicans per capita. As of right now. Number 10, Florida. Number 9, Texas. 8, Mississippi. 7, Tennessee. Or if you live there, Tennessee. Number 6, Arkansas. Again, these are the 10 states with the most Republicans per capita. Number 5, Alabama. I used to live in Alabama, and I loved it. I loved living in Alabama. Number 4, Idaho. Idaho? No, Idaho. Number 3, Oklahoma. Number 2, of the 10 states with the most Republicans per capita is West Virginia, and number 1, Wyoming. I would have thought Nebraska would have been in there somewhere in the top 10, but no. So, Wyoming, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Idaho, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, and Florida. Which, by the way, our racist Nazi president has endorsed for governor of Florida a black candidate. His name's Byron Donaldson. Byron Donalds. He's black. Shh. Don't tell anybody. He's black. Trump's going to get in trouble once people find out that Nazi racist endorsed a black man for governor. Man. All right, let's look. Wyoming, it'd be a great place to live. I can't deal with the weather, though. I can't handle snow. I got to have summers and tan and all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, I wouldn't mind moving. And I look at these kinds of things all the time. Because with the technology, I can do what I do for a living anywhere, as long as they have a strong internet connection. So let's see. West Virginia is number 2. Oklahoma. I don't know. I don't know whether I'd want to live. I mean, that's a little too landlocked for me as well. Idaho, same about the weather. It snows too much, too cold. Alabama, I've lived in Alabama. I know what it's like. Arkansas. My brother lives in Arkansas. I'm not looking to move to Arkansas. Not because he's there. I mean, I love my brother, but it doesn't seem like, I want to live close to a beach. That's what I want. Tennessee is cool. Mississippi, nah. Being from Louisiana, to say I would love to retire and move to Mississippi, that just doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Texas, I could live in Texas easily. But Florida, that's where I've always wanted to be. Number 10, Florida. It's funny how your plans kind of get derailed as life happens, I thought I would have been living in Florida by now. If a radio station in Florida would offer me $20 a day, I would pack up and move. If they said, look, you come do your show, being a radio legend that you are, you come do your show that is fantastic and unique and groundbreaking. You do it on our radio station in Florida and we'll give you $20 a day. I would say, get the U-Haul. I am ready. And it doesn't even have to be on the beach in Florida. It could just be in the state. I'm there. Harry just sent a message. What about South Carolina? South Carolina didn't make it in the top 10 of this list. And it says that it's based on voter registration data, election results, and demographic analysis from multiple sources, whatever that means. Daily Ranked Department is the organization. I could live in South Carolina, too. South Carolina, I always tell people it's more of a free state than North Carolina. It is. But again, I know both the Carolinas have beaches. And I love the beaches. I love you beaches. Love me some beaches. Bring all the beaches. Bring all the beaches to me. Bring me to the beaches. But, North Carolina having a rotten, no good Democrat governor for so long now has just sullied the state to me. Ugh. Yeah, I said it. I said it. And then you look at, I don't know, the downfall of the Charlotte city government and the way this city is all, crime-ridden and everything. Put me on the beaches. That's what I want to do. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about wanting to live on the beach, but I'm just aggravating. Just poking fun. But I mean that about, I don't like the idea of living in a state that's got a Democrat governor. I never thought after I got out of Louisiana that would be the case. So disappointing. Oof. All right, I got to take a break. Hang on, more coming up.
It's the TJ Ritchie Show on 107.9 WBT, Charlotte's FM News Talk. Night has fallen and the Green-Eyed Patriot is on the air. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on Charlotte's FM News Talk, 107.9 FM, WBT.
Oh, unapologetic, in-your-face conservatism, dropping truth bombs all over the place. I am the Maine. 704-570-1079 is the number. You just got a text from Sherry. Hey, TJ, you really do have the voice down pat for that Graham guy. It would have been perfect if you used that voice when you said you loved all the beaches. LOL. Yeah, I guess it will. I should have been thinking. You know, Graham Platner running for senator in Maine on the Democrat ticket. He's a communist and a pervert. I can't do it too much, though, to make my throat hurt. You know, it's just another one of these low-life vermin that the Democrat Party promotes and stands with side by side, a communist pervert. Excuse me. I found this to be very interesting today, and it's an example of how we live in a backward society a lot of times. So we live in a society where homosexuals lecture us on morals, transgenders lecture us on biology, baby killers lecture us on human rights, communists lecture us on economics, and Satanists lecture us on religion. By the way, I forgot at the beginning to wish everyone a happy Nuclear Family Month. You know, in Tennessee, that's what they celebrate in June. It's officially Nuclear Family Month. But you know, Target has come a long way, ladies and gentlemen. And I was participating a couple years ago in the full-fledged Target boycott. And it wasn't because of pride, gay pride and all that stuff. And yeah, I still call it gay pride because pride actually has a meaning that's more than just gay. So you can't just steal a word. Oh, pride. It's about pride. No, pride already had a meaning. You can't just make it be gay. You got to qualify it. Gay pride. I'm a protector of the language. And it wasn't about just, you know, gay pride stuff that Target was doing, because all the companies were doing that. But it was when they were really promoting the trans children things. You know, like the tuck swimsuits for quote unquote trans boys, which was a girl's swimsuit for a little boy that he could tuck his business into and you couldn't see it or couldn't tell that he was a boy. Things like that. But Target's 2026 Pride Month homepage, according to this, is a straight, white, blonde American family front and center. After years of rainbow everything and alienating normal customers, Target finally noticed reality. The great corporate awakening continues. Now, I guess, I don't know if that boycott is still going on where the African-American groups, some of them are boycotting Target because they did away with their DEI programs and stuff like that. You know, that cockroach fake pastor in Atlanta who calls himself Jamal Bryant. You know, he was, big, loud voice with that. And then somebody within the group had to call him out and say, hey, you didn't organize this. We did. You're just trying to take credit for it. Typical. But anyway, I don't know if that's still going on or not, but I'm looking at this page and it says epic style, Americana inspired looks for everyone from $5. USA little shirts on the children and on the parents. Cool. Man, my wife was hating it too when we were boycotting Target. And then Paul says, isn't pride a deadly mortal sin? Yeah, but still, it doesn't just mean gay. But if you look at it from a strictly biblical standpoint, yes, I believe that is correct. But it still has a definition. But you also have American pride, you have team pride, you have all of that. Now, I don't know because, I don't know if that's wrong to say as well, according to the Bible. But I've always, taken pride in in my country and in, my work, things like that. I don't know, maybe I need to get a biblical scholar on here to talk about the word pride. Yeah, I could do that if I weren't lazy, if I weren't a sloth. You see what I did there, sloth? Talking about the deadly sins. Huh? Isn't that one of them? I don't know. I'm too lazy to look it up. Don't test me. What else is going on? Nothing. That's all right. I'm going to end the show now because there's nothing else going on. I'm just kidding, of course. Just kidding. But this is the first day of June and controversy erupting all over the place. And, over the weekend with the Antifa protests and all in New Jersey, why are there still Antifa protests? That's what I want to know. How is it possible? Weren't they put on the terrorist list, the domestic terrorist list, Antifa? How are they still operating? How is that a thing? I mean, why are they not being treated like terrorists if they've been put on the terrorist list? Why are they allowed to cause any trouble for our police officers and ICE agents and whomever else? Why are they not met with deadly force in the streets by the FBI? If they are terrorists, maybe I need to get a biblical scholar on here to explain that. I don't understand. You know what? There are too many instances where people are not afraid of Americans. People are not afraid of patriotic Americans. These little Antifa people should be dealing with the full force of the FBI and our federal agents. And when I say full force, I mean full force. It would only take one, I think, a lesson to let them and George Soros and Alex Soros and whoever's funding them and all of that, whoever's organizing these events, these little Stalinists behind the scenes, it would take one episode to clear those little worms out and make them never come out of their holes again. Change them really quickly. But you can't just call them terrorists and then let them rip down barricades and do a tug of war with the barricades with the police officer. You can't. You gotta show them we mean business. And there's only one thing they're going to understand: is a rat-a-tat-tat of that baton upside the head. All right. Hour 1 is gone. Hour 2 coming up next. Hang on.